Morning once again. Welcome to the Polling Unit Ambassadors of Nigeria official unveiling and launch of the PUAN App. Thank you for your time so far. Thank you for your patience. We are starting right away. We will start with the anthem. So can we all rise as we take that anthem? That anthem is serving as also our opening prayer together. So, are you ready? All right, let's go.
Nigeria, we will be our own dear native land. No tribes or Nigeria, in love we stand. Nigerians all across the sun are so free more than ever.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's be seated. So we'd like to welcome you officially. We first of all welcome the Ambassador-General of the Polling Unit Ambassadors of Nigeria, no other person than Ambassador Captain Dabas Suleiman. Let's welcome him with a round of applause. Thank you very much. You're welcome, sir. We also welcome the Secretary General of the Polling Unit Ambassadors of Nigeria, none other than Ambassador Prince Osagai. He's also in the house. Let's give him a welcome with a round of applause. Thank you very much, sir. The Ambassador General is also here with his amiable wife. Let's put our hands together for the wife of the Ambassador General, Mrs. Dabas Suleiman. Thank you for coming, ma'am. So, because of the want of time, we'll not go into the details of calling names of people, everyone who is here. We want to thank you for coming. We can identify a few states that are here represented. We have states like Kaduna State. Kaduna State, we thank you, delegation. Thank you so much for coming. A round of applause for them. Thank you very much. See them, they are seated here. Can you rise for recognition? All right, thank you. We also have Nasarawa State fully represented here. A round of applause for them. Thank you for coming. We have Katsina State, a full delegation from Katsina State. A round of applause for them. Thank you for coming. We also welcome Plateau State, also well represented here. A round of applause for them. Thank you for coming. We also have some people, FCT, we are still expecting FCT, who is the host of this event. I am not representing FCT, even though I am the Deputy Ambassador General for the North Central. All right, so we are expecting the other state. Okay, FCT is here. Northeast. Okay, Northeast. Okay, Northeast is also represented. Okay, round of applause for the Northeast. All right, I've just also been informed that Bauchi State is also here, represented. A round of applause for Bauchi State. Thank you very much. So we are expecting other delegations, invited guests, and delegations from other states who will also be here today to grace this occasion. So thank you for coming. Okay, we are introducing the Professor, Ambassador, Inventor Abiodun Michael, PhD, FCAI, APAP. He is going to be presenting a very keynote for us this morning, and he'll be talking about building a stronger democracy for Nigeria. So we'll move straight to the welcome address. All right, so the Ambassador-General will take the welcome address. All right, so let's put our hands together for the Ambassador-General as he comes up to take the welcome address. Thank you very much.
To be the best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champion, champion. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champion, for the champion. Stand up for the champion, for the champion. Stand up, stand up, stand up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are all champions, and that is why we are here. Distinguished guests, representatives of government institutions, members of the diplomatic community, development partners, representatives of political parties, civil society organizations, election stakeholders, members of the media, and great PUAN ambassadors across Nigeria and the diaspora, fellow Nigerians, ladies and gentlemen. It is with immense pride, humility, and profound sense of national responsibility that I welcome you all to this historic occasion, the official unveiling and launching of the polling unit Ambassadors of Nigeria app. Today, we are not gathered here merely to launch an application. Today, we are launching an idea. An idea that technology can be strengthened, that technology can strengthen citizenship. An idea that citizens must not be spectators in their own democracy. An idea that responsible citizens can use technology to promote transparency, accountability, peace, and participation. An idea that every polling unit, every community, every citizen, and every vote matters and must count. Today is therefore not only a milestone for people, it is a statement about the Nigeria we all want to build. Our vision, building a new Nigeria from the polling unit. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the vision of PUAN is simple but profound. Building a new Nigeria from the polling unit. Why the polling unit? Because the polling unit is one of the places where democracy comes closest to the ordinary Nigerian. It is where citizens exercise their constitutional rights to vote. It is where political participation becomes real. It is where citizens encounter the electoral process directly. And it is where trust in democracy can either be strengthened or weakened. Therefore, if we want to transform Nigeria, we must begin where democracy touches the ordinary citizen. At the polling units, at the ward, in the community, and ultimately across the nation. This is the philosophy behind PUAN. And we also want to digress a bit here. When we say we want to build Nigeria from the polling unit up, we meant what we were saying. We mean that we want a situation where anyone who seeks for my vote or your vote, we should know this person. We want to ensure that at the polling unit community where we have people who resident around that polling unit community, we want to know each other. Let elections start from the polling unit community. Let anyone who wants to contest election, we want to know who your father is, who your mother is, how old are you, what is your character, who are your siblings, which school did you go to, until we're beginning to develop ourselves from that polling unit community. So that whoever comes to seek your vote, you know who he is, you know his character. You can only vote him because you know who his father is. You can only vote him because you know who he is, what he represents. Although it might take long for us to achieve this, but today is the beginning of such projects. Because we want to ensure that whoever that represents us, we must know them deep from where they come from. So that somebody cannot say, I went to XYZ school, or my parents are this, or I have this character. We at the polling unit should be able to say, you deserve our vote because we know who you are, because we know where you come from, we know your character, you know your father, we know your brothers, we know everything about you. So you are qualified for our vote. That's the kind of Nigeria we must be. Beloved brothers and sisters, fellow ambassadors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria must change. And we must start this change from we who are seated here. And that is why we call ourselves the champions. Of course, we are champions to build this country. Democracy does not begin and end at the ballot box. Democracy begins with an informed citizen. It grows through participation. It's strengthened by transparency. It is protected by accountability. And it survives through citizens who understand that democracy is not somebody else's responsibility. Democracy is everybody's business. This is why PUAN is building a non-partisan civic network committed to citizen education, responsible participation, transparent election observation, public project tracking, and accountability in governance. Our project is not to replace government institution. Our objective is not to replace government institution. Our objective is not to replace electoral authorities. Our objective is not to declare election results. Rather, our objective is to empower citizens, strengthen civic participation, support lawful election observation, promote transparency, and encourage accountability. The authority to declare official election results remains with the legal designated electoral authorities, the Commission. PUAN role is to help citizens understand, observe, document, and responsible engagement with democratic process. We observe, we educate, we empower, we promote accountability. We do not absorb the constitutional responsibility of electoral authorities. The PUAN App, technology in service of citizenship. Distinguished guests, the PUAN App is born from this conviction. This is a technology-driven platform designed to connect citizens, volunteers, and civic actors in a structural environment for civic education, responsible election observation, citizen engagement, and accountability. Through technology, we can strengthen communication. We can support verified citizen volunteer reporting. We can improve the coordination of polling unit observation. We can provide citizens with relevant civic and electoral information. We can support the documentation of issues requiring attention. And beyond election, we can empower citizens to follow the implementation of public projects and infrastructure from the world level through local government, state, and federal projects. This is important because democracy is not only about choosing leaders. Democracy is about asking questions, asking leaders questions when they are elected. And that is the mistake we make in this part of the world. We elect leaders and we don't ask questions. And that is not fair. We send our children to school, and when the report card comes, we ask them to give us a report card because we want to see what they've done in school. Because we send them to school. We send those politicians to represent us, and we don't ask questions. This has to change. And because we don't ask questions, politicians are taking advantage of. We're not coming together as human beings, as people, as citizens to ask questions. They're taking advantage of it and making a mess of our democracy. Real mess of our democracy. And this has to change. We need to now call these people to order, and we have the authority and the power, just like we send our children to school and ask questions when the results are out. We must ask politicians questions, what have you done for us after we're elected? This is our responsibility, and it must be done. But let's emphasize something very important. The app is a tool. The ambassadors are the force. The Nigerian people are the purpose. Technology alone cannot build democracy. People build democracy. Technology can connect us, document information, improve communication, strengthen coordinations, and support transparency. But integrity gives technology meaning. Patriotism gives it purpose. Discipline gives it credibility. And responsible citizenship gives it impact. This is why the title PUAN Ambassador is not merely a title, it is a responsibility. It is also called for service. It is commitment to peace. It is a commitment to truth. It is a commitment to responsible citizenship. And it is a commitment to Nigeria. To every PUAN ambassador, I say, do not ask only what Nigeria can give you. Ask what you can give back to Nigeria. Do not wait for someone else to promote peace. You are an ambassador of peace. Do not wait for someone else to educate citizens. You are an ambassador of civic responsibility. Do not wait for someone else to demand accountability. You are part of that accountability process. And do not wait for someone else to build Nigeria. You are part of the Nigeria that we must all together build. Our citizens are our greatest assets. Our mission is national. Our vision is a long-term. We want to build a network of informed, disciplined, trained, technological, but patriotic citizens across Nigeria. From the citizen to rural communities, from the cities to the rural communities, from the north to the south, from the east to the west, from our polling units at home to Nigeria in the diaspora. Your voice matters, your participation matters, your commitments matters, and Nigeria matters. We must never underestimate the power of an organized citizen, a citizen who understands the electoral process, a citizen who knows the rules, a citizen who respects the rights of others, a citizen who rejects violence, a citizen who refuses to spread misinformation, a citizen who observes responsibility, a citizen who reports facts, a citizen who promotes peace during and after election. The citizen is a wonderful force for democracy. And when millions of responsible citizens stand together, democracy becomes stronger. Non-partisan, national citizen-centered. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria is a nation of enormous diversity. We speak different languages. We come from different communities. We have different political opinions. We belong to different political parties. We have different aspirations. But beneath all these differences is one shared identity. We are all Nigerians. That must be the ringing bell in our hearts. We are all Nigerians. Before we become anything, we are all Nigerians. PUAN civic mission must therefore remain bigger than any political party. We can disagree politically without becoming enemies personally. We can support different candidates without destroying our communities. We can compete during elections while preserving peace after election. Political competition must never become a war against our fellow citizens. An election should determine who governs us. It should not determine where we belong. This is the spirit of responsible democracy. That is the Nigerian PUAN believes in. And that is why we would welcome citizens from every political parties who are committed to lawful, peaceful, informed, and responsible civic participation. Our responsibility does not end when the votes are counted. A true engaged citizen asks questions beyond election day. That is why PUAN vision extends beyond polling unit observation. We are building a civic community that can encourage citizens to pay attention to public projects and development initiatives in their communities, from a rural road to health centers, from school to water infrastructure, from ward-level projects to major federal interventions. Citizens should be able to ask questions. What was promised? What was approved? What was delivered? And is this serving the people? This is not about confrontation. It is about responsible citizenship and constructive accountability. We want citizens who do not merely complain about Nigeria, but participate in improving Nigeria. Distinguished guests, the journey today, historic launch, has been deliberate. From the commencement of the preparation on 6th of July 2026 to our media engagement on the 7th of July and our international press conference on the 31st of July, we have continued to build awareness, participation, and momentum around this initiative. Today, that journey reaches another important milestone. But let me say this very clearly. The launch is not the destination. It is the beginning. The real test begins after today. The real test is what we can take this innovation from this hall to the communities, from Abuja to every state, from every state to every local government, from every local government to every ward, and ultimately to the polling unit communities, where Nigeria exercises their democratic rights. That is the assignment before us all. I therefore call on government institutions, electoral stakeholders, political parties, civic society organizations, development partners, the diplomatic community, traditional institutions, community leaders, technology experts, the media, and citizens to join hands with us. Let us build Nigeria. Let us build partnership that strengthen, not weaken, our democratic institution. Let us use technology to bring citizens closer to democratic process. Let us use information to empower, not to manipulate. Let us use data responsibly. Let us promote fact-based civic engagement. Let us use our platform to promote peace, not hatred. And let us use our influence to build Nigeria and not tear it apart. To our development partners, we welcome your partnership. To civic society organization, we recognize your work and we welcome your collaboration. To media, we ask you to continue to inform citizens responsibly. To political parties and their supporters, we urge peaceful participation and respect for democratic rules. To our young people, I say, Nigeria needs your energy. Nigeria needs your ideas. Nigeria needs your innovations. Nigeria needs your patriotism. And to every Nigerian, Nigeria needs you. Ladies and gentlemen, the future of Nigerian democracy cannot be left to technology alone. It cannot be left to politicians alone. It cannot be left to government alone. Democracy is everybody's business. Therefore, today I make this call. Let us move from spectators to participants, from participation to responsibility, from responsibility to accountability, and from accountability to a stronger democracy. Let history today, let history record that at this moment in Abuja, Nigeria, come together and choose to use technology, citizenship, and collective action to strengthen our democratic process. Let history record this today. Thank you, and let us live together as Nigerians.
When I fall down, I have to pick myself back up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, can we give him a standing ovation?
To pick myself
A standing ovation.
when I fall down.
Thank you very much. That was powerful. That was wonderful. So thank you so much, the Ambassador-General of the Polling Unit Ambassadors of Nigeria. We thank you for that very detailed and straightforward charge to us as a people and to Nigeria as a whole. With that kind of charge, we are also going to listen to another very powerful presentation. This presentation is going to also build on what the Ambassador General has just said, has just presented to us this morning. And that presentation is going to be a keynote address. And that keynote address will be talking about building a stronger democracy for Nigeria. And like we introduced earlier, we have with us in our midst a great son of Nigeria, a leader, a visionary, an inventor, and somebody who loves to see that Nigeria progresses. We have none other than Professor Ambassador Inventor Abiodun Michael. He's going to come up and take the keynote address. So ladies and gentlemen, great ambassadors in the house, let us welcome Professor Abiodun with a resounding round of applause.
Ambassador-General, your paper is a well thought out paper and fire a different comprehensive dimension into my system after listening to all that you have said. And I have the confidence that someday we're going to be there. I'm still going to be standing on the existing protocol. Ambassador has spoken so well concerning innovation technology. Fortunately, I am a professor of innovation and technology. Technology has only one mandate. And what is it? To create solution to a problem. And Nigeria, we have so much problem here. But now that we have decided to fine-tune the concept of solving that problem, I think we have started a new journey. Innovation, on the other hand, makes goods and services to sell. And if you look at this all, you will see element of innovation here. And the same app that is going to be launched today dealt on innovation, which means Nigeria is ready to sell out the best to the world within a nearest shortest future. Without wasting much of your time, I say distinguished guests, fellow citizens, leaders from cross and political spectrum, and representatives of civil society. I welcome you all. It is very germane for me to deliver this keynote address on building a stronger democracy for Nigeria. As we gather today at a pivotal moment for our nation, as we reflect on the journey of our democracy, the upcoming Osun State governorship election on August 15, 2026, serves as a critical litmus test, which is a test. It is a moment that we either reaffirm our commitment to democratic principle or expose the deep-seated vulnerabilities that threaten to undermine the will of Nigerians people. The foundation of any strong democracy is not merely the act of voting, but the sanctity and credibility of the entire electoral process. The situation unfolding the Osun presents us with stark lesson and an urgent call to action. The Osun test: security, credibility, and the rule of law. The Osun election is more than a regional context. It is national referendum on the health of our democratic institution. Recent report paints a deeply concerning picture. We are seeing escalating political tension, with official reports indicating that more than 20 people have reportedly lost their lives in political motivated violence. Leading up to the poll, this is an unacceptable price to pay for political ambition. The state has been identified as having 385 security flashpoints and over 200 hard-to-reach locations, requiring the development of approximately 15,000 police personnel to secure the process, while the proactive step by the Inspector General of Police to deploy a dedicated commissioner of police and the directives bearing on authorized security outfits like Amotekun from election operation are commendable. They also review the state of the security challenge. However, security is not just about the presence of boots on the ground. It is about the conduct of those in power and the impartiality of our institution. The reported freezing and the arrest of the secretary to the state government over alleged vote buying, occurring so close to the election, have heightened the public anxiety. We must be clear. These actions is not handled with the utmost transparency and strict adherence to the rule of law, risk inflaming political tension and eroding public confidence. The true test of commitment to a peaceful election lies not in signing a peace accord, but in the actions of political leaders and the neutrality of the institutions responsible for safeguarding our democracy. The broader picture: a democracy under pressure. The challenges we face in Osun are symptomatic of a broader fragility in our democratic system. We hear warning from political parties like the African Democratic Congress (ADC) in quote, and the Inter-Party Advisory Council (IPAC) that Nigeria is sliding into a one-party state through weakening of to the citizens. Our road does not end with casting our votes. We must shut apathy, reject misinformation, and be vigilant in defending our democratic institution. We must hold our leaders accountable, not just on election day, but every single day. The Osun election is a test. Let us prove that we have planned ourselves to building a Nigerian where power is true with the people and where the will of the people is the ultimate authority. Based on this analysis, I thank you all, and I remain your humble and obedient servant in leadership. Thank you so much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with ambassadors, let's give a resounding round of applause for Professor Ambassador Inventor Abiodun. Thank you so much. So we'll be moving quickly into the next items on this agenda today. And we will move by calling on a presentation from the Secretary General of the Polling Unit Ambassadors of Nigeria, and no other person than Ambassador Prince Osa Osagai. He's going to be making the presentation. He's going to be talking about the future of technology-driven election observation. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome with a round of applause the Secretary General of the Polling Unit Ambassadors of Nigeria.
Distinguished guests, the Ambassador-General, Polling Unit Ambassadors of Nigeria, distinguished guests, CSOs represented, all protocols duly observed. I don't want to be very long so that we will go also into the main business of the day, which is talking about the app itself. Now, I would want to start by saying, well, the topic, PUAN and the future of technology-driven election observations in Nigeria, who are Polling Unit Ambassadors of Nigeria. We are Polling Unit Ambassadors of Nigeria are trained citizens within every polling unit community that will be stationed at each of the over 176,000 polling units in Nigeria to become the eyes, ears, digital backbone of electronic observations, thereby ensuring poll integrity in Nigeria. It is only when we work assiduously to attain poll integrity that we can be sure that elected leaders are true choices of the people. And they are elected through transparent, free, and fair processes. Now, this is a revolution. And it's a revolution in operations of electoral systems in Nigeria. And this is meant to create confidence to the ordinary citizen, this confidence which has been eroded in times past. And we need to create this confidence because we're working towards achieving good governance. So the choices of our leaders must be vested on the people through a refined democratic setting. The activities actually at the polling units during election must be exposed real life to the world to make elections transparent. This is why we have made this important move to deploy technology to ensure that every voting process is brought out there to the world to see what is happening real life. Now, a free and fair election is not assumed, neither is it imposed. It must be seen by all as transparent, and it must be transparently operated. With the umpire doing what is right, the contestants given the level playing field, and the electorates exercising their free will. Now, if these ones are achieved in every electoral process, we will find out that elections will be in this country something that is very desirable. And that is why it is very key and important that technology should be deployed in the election processes, especially as we begin to advance in our present world. We need the use of technology to ensure that poll integrity in this country is achieved. Only Unit Ambassadors of Nigeria, we actually came into the election field in 2018, not just to join the bandwagon and go on with business as usual, but to be a change agent and see that poll integrity becomes sacrosanct in our scheme of election activities. We have started designing our strategy from the onset, and this organization has built, or rather is building, a future of technology-driven election observation. So we did not just come into election observation with the intent of, going on as it has been done before. We entered into election observation, with a concentration on the fact that we need to create a change and bring confidence to the people, and ensure that in every election cycle in this country, everybody looks and knows that, yes, this election was well intended and was well done, was well executed. That is our aim. With this laudable, today marks actually the hallmark, and this laudable project where we will be unfolding the app. So that's why I said I may not take the whole time, so that we'll go into the business of the day. So unfolding the app will actually tell you the technicalities, will tell you why, and how we have come to make this difference in election observation in this country, Nigeria. I'm sure that once you sit down through the unfolding of the technologically driven observation app that we have done, you'll be able to understand not just where we are coming from, where we are going, not just as polling unit ambassadors of Nigeria, but where we are going as a nation. That's where we should be. And ladies and gentlemen, the good news is once you see this, you now realize that the politicians will no more have hiding places, and where their intent will be to subvert the collective will of the people. The people's voices will be heard this time, and the people's choices will be made, whether they like it or not. Politicians should learn to begin to go from house to house to canvass for citizens' votes. And they can only do that if they know that the power resides in the hands of the people. And that is what we must establish. And once that is established, then we will have turned the button, we would have, pressed the button towards getting things right in this country, especially in our electoral process. Because the politicians believe right now that, and it has become our simply become our value system. They believe that in every election, all you have to do is to strategize on how to buy the few that you can buy, and then manipulate the ones that you can manipulate, and then ensure that you get the votes. You write the votes to your favor, and you use various mechanisms. This is not democracy, because in democracy, the power resides in the people. And we must define democracy in Nigeria the way democracy was handed over to us. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here as change agents. Everyone seated here as polling unit ambassador, you are seated here as a change agent. It must begin from us, and it must reflect our collective will to make and ensure that this change comes at our own time, so that we can leave a lasting legacy for generations after us. I will not bother us to go into any technicalities, but having built this background, I would want us to move straight into the business of the day, which is unveiling the app. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, the Secretary General. Ladies and gentlemen, great ambassadors, let's give him a round of applause. A round of applause, please. All right, thank you very much. So we are moving into, like I said, moving into the business of the day. And the business of the day, like you know, it's all about the app that we're going to launch today. We are going to listen to the technicalities. This time, the Secretary General was not going to go into technicalities, but now we'll have to go into some of the technicalities. Of course, not all of it. I'm sure that the technical man is almost ready to do that. Are you ready, sir? Okay, so he's going to do a technical presentation and live demonstration of the PUAN app. Great ambassador, a round of applause for Mr. Pius, our technology man who is going to take this up. Welcome.
Thank you very much. We are honored to have been engaged by PUAN to work on this Nigerian project. Just to summarize it, the app has 5 key features, or it is meant to address 5 key objectives. Number 1 is to bring about credible election. This is the foundation of our democracy. If we believe in the electoral process, if election is credible, then we'll be able to put the office holders on their toes throughout their office or their time the time of the administration. So the app is designed to help bring about that credible election. So how the app is meant to bring about credible election is to serve or offer the platform for transparent, evidence-based election observation and reporting. Whatever we say happen at the polls should be backed by evidence. So that is the first one. And the beginning of this is the interface you're seeing here. The way we design this to make election reporting transparent is to take each and every one of these 176,000 plus polling units and use them as containers. Each polling unit has its own election reports. Each polling unit has its own election results with the evidence, all right? So if I want to know what happened at any polling unit, it's just for me to locate that particular container or polling unit here on the app, and I will see everything that happened on the election day at that particular polling unit. Now, The credibility comes in by having the data there as that container to serve as evidence to help any political party in their post-election tribunal journey. Because we know it has become part of the Nigerian electoral system. After every election, that party will say this happened or that did not happen. That party will say we did not believe on this result, we did not accept this, and there are cases or most cases that we want to challenge that in courts. And most times, we say the judicial system is partial, but I believe the evidence is overwhelming. Even the judicial system will have nothing else to do than to surrender. So, and that is the essence of this. So, the PUAN app, having everything that happened at any polling unit or every polling unit within that container, makes that container an evidence pool for all the parties. The parties that said we won can go there and pick the evidence to support their claim. And those that said there were malpractices can go there and pick the evidence and present it to INEC. Here are the evidence. I will present it to the courts and they'll be able to back up their claims from there. Number two is to bring about accountability. The app is meant to serve as a memory of the people. You keep track of their manifesto and you'll be able to hold them accountable. We have the civic projects, the office holders, we have the political parties. You'll be able to find all of those here at the side bar. For the office holders, just to give us idea, because that will not allow us, the app is implemented in a way that you'll be able to keep track of every office holder. When you come to office, how much was in the treasury? How much did you spend at the end of every fiscal year in your administration? What projects did you do? And not just that, members or users of this app, you that is from that place, they say they constructed a road in your village, you'll be able to review that road project with picture and rate it. Now, apart from that, we can also rate public office holders, their performance. For example, let's say you want to rate President Tinubu, his first year in office. As the administration is progressing, people from his constituency will be able to rate his performance. And that gives the politician at every point in time idea about what people actually think about the administration. Now, not just that, let's say your local government chairman, if you are from a particular local government, you as a member can create a poll and say, what is the most pressing need of this local government? And then people from there can vote. From there, that is the citizens' action now. From there, we will now be able to table this together and present it to the local government chairman. This is the number one problem of this place. This way, the people have a say in what is going on. Not just the local government will sit down and come and do culverts and say that is what he did in his administration. Did they ask for culverts? So you will now be able to tell the office holders what your needs are. So I don't want to keep this too long, but I encourage us to see it. Everything I've explained so far is just a scratch on the features of the app. As you start using it, and I believe there'll be more time, we'll get to see more of it used. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that presentation, that demonstration. I know that Pius has so much on that platform to show us, but because of time, we would have to stop there. At least most importantly, we have seen an overview of what it is and what we are expecting. So we encourage all of you to take your time. You can visit puan.com.ng to be able to see some of the features of the platform. So at this point, we're almost coming towards the end of this gathering. So with the presentation of this app, we're going to move into the official unveiling of the app. We're going to to call on the Secretary General, who will be assisted by Professor, to join in the official unveiling of the app. So, ladies and gentlemen, great ambassadors, let's welcome to the stage Ambassador Prince Osa Osagai, and also welcome up to the stage Professor Ambassador Inventor Abiodun to the stage as well, who will assist to unveil this app.
This is what we have been waiting for in this country, to kickstart the beginning of a new era, a revolution to revolutionize election processes in this country. We are going to be unveiling the app that will open up doors to ensure that the electorate become the ultimate deciders of every election process in Nigeria. So as we unveil this app today, this app stands as a project for the people of Nigeria, so that it creates the visibility that is desired in every polling unit in Nigeria. No more hiding places for those who would want to convert our polling units to places where they carry out every form of malpractice. So for Nigeria to be great again, and God being with us, helping us as a nation, and on behalf of all PUAN ambassadors all over Nigeria who have been building since 2018 structures to this point, we wish to unveil this great edifice, the PUAN app, in the name of God, and for the progress of Nigeria and for the people of Nigeria to enjoy elections from now henceforth. Welcome to a new electoral system in Nigeria. System for the people, by the people, for the people. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Prof. So, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for this historic event. So, thank you very much. We have come to the end of this program today, the official unveiling of the Polling Unit Ambassadors of Nigeria app and launch. So we're rounding up now. We're going to take the last stanza to close, and then we'll go ahead with group photographs, and then we will depart. So we appreciate you all once again. We thank you for coming all the way. Those who have traveled from far and wide, we appreciate.